What up, guys? This is RBT coming at you with my Week 8 college football recap video. Gonna be honest with you, I was gone all yesterday till about 12:30 at night, so I got to watch a little bit of games. I didn't get to watch my normal vast of games, so I'm trying my best here. As always, you guys know what I do, so here we go. Thursday, Oregon beat Arizona State, and this could have been ugly. I don't know why Oregon just stopped putting up points, but it was 43-7 at half. They could have scored 50 before the half, and then, like always, they'll be beating a team by like 40-something points in the first half, and then they'll just let up the rest of the game, and they could score 80. Oregon has the best offense in the country, definitely. They can score at will, and it was 43-21 the final, but Oregon could have won this game by 70, 80 points, seriously. And just to throw this in there, SMU beat Houston 72-42. Scored 31 points in the third half. And old Garrett Gilbert, the transfer from Texas, is put up 4 touchdowns for SMU. So seeing a fellow Texas guy, a fellow Texas bust doing good at another school. Friday night, Syracuse beat Connecticut 40-10. Kind of surprising. I thought this was gonna be a close game, but Syracuse put up 40 points. And Connecticut lost last week to Temple. And Temple, I think, is like they about beat Rutgers. It was a close game for the most part. Well, for the first half, and Rutgers came back. Go ahead and talk about this game. Temple was winning 10-0 at half against Rutgers, and I thought Temple was going to go 3-0 in the Big East, and Rutgers was going to get their first loss of the season. But Rutgers comes back and scores 35 points in the second half and shuts out Temple to win 35-10. So Rutgers is still undefeated, and I think they're going to be undefeated, like I've said before, until they play Louisville the last week of the season, and that'll be a pretty good game. And yeah, Gary Nova threw 4 touchdown passes, and usually 4 touchdown passes against Temple is going to be enough to get you the W. Purdue loses to Ohio State 29-22 in overtime. Purdue had all the chances in the world to win this game. Ohio State had to come back to win this game. Braxton Miller got hurt in this game. He had to get carted off the field. But the backup came in, played alright, and they got the win in overtime. It kind of sucks for Purdue because they pretty much had all the momentum until the fourth quarter. And Ohio State comes back and wins. So Ohio State's still undefeated. And kind of crazy because, I mean, they could go undefeated all year and not even go to the championship. That's just how it is. Tough luck for them, but that's what happens when you cheat. The game that it's kind of an upset pick. I don't know if you call it an upset pick, but I just got this pick right. I picked Oklahoma State over Iowa State. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a blowout. Ended up 31-10 Oklahoma State. I just thought Oklahoma State's offense was too much for Iowa State, and it proved to be right. Iowa State did come out to a 10-0 lead, but Oklahoma comes roaring back, and ever since that 10-0 lead, Oklahoma State shut them out 31-0. So Oklahoma State is probably going to be ranked after this week. Virginia Tech, Clemson. Clemson wins 38-17. I think actually this was my upset pick of the week, and they proved me wrong. I mean, Virginia Tech came out playing tough, but Clemson's just too much for them. It's proved over the last few years that Clemson is just a bad matchup for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is just, I don't know. It's just like I've said, it's just a bad matchup. Last year, Virginia Tech was looking great, so much better than Clemson, and Clemson comes out and absolutely kills them. So like I said, it's obviously just a bad matchup, and Clemson wins 38-17. LSU comes back to beat Texas A&M 24-19. If you had watched the first quarter, like I did before I left, I think it was the first quarter and a little bit of the second, you thought Texas A&M was going to win this game, probably like 30-something, 40-something to nothing. Johnny Manziel and that Texas A&M offense was absolutely rolling, and LSU couldn't get anything done. But throughout the last 3 quarters, they picked off Johnny Manziel 3 times and ended up winning by 5 points. And I mean, LSU's offense didn't do really anything in this game. If it wasn't for the turnovers, they would have won that game. But if it wasn't for Johnny Manziel, they probably would never have been in this game, because he's a really good quarterback, but you just see he's turnover prone. If he can work on eliminating the turnovers, they can upset a few teams. And I wish they would have, because if LSU would have lost this game, other men were more than likely going to the SEC championship game no matter what. But it is what it is. Texas A&M loses by 5. Texas A&M's, I mean, they're a good team, and like I said, if it wasn't for the turnovers, they could be 7-0 right now. They about beat Florida, so playing team's tough. They're way better than Missouri. They're the better team, better other teams coming in the SEC. So really surprising too. I didn't think Texas A&M's defense would be able to hold up against SEC teams, but they proved me wrong so far. Wisconsin beats Minnesota 38-13. This wasn't a surprise. Sponsored Ball has a huge game. No surprise there. Vanderbilt beats Auburn 17-13. Another no surprise. I predict Vanderbilt. I think everybody did. Auburn's worst start, it says, since 1952. Auburn was leading this game, and then Vanderbilt comes up right before the half and kicks a field goal to tie the game up 10-10. And Vanderbilt comes out in the third quarter and scores a touchdown, and then holds Auburn to a field goal in the fourth quarter to win this game. Auburn 0-5 in the SEC. They're this close to being 0-7, but it's a good day to be an Alabama fan. Wake Forest edges out Virginia 16-10. No surprise there. Wake Forest's kicker made 3 field goals to help put Wake Forest past Virginia. Virginia is now 0-4 in the ACC. Not a good start for head coach Mike London. So it's not too great down there in Charlotte. Stanford beats Cal 21-3. No surprise here. I told you guys Zach Maynard was not going to be able to do anything on that Stanford defense, because Stanford has one of the better front sevens in football, and Cal has given up more sacks than anybody in the country. So that shows you why they only scored 3 points. So Stanford wins 21-3. Georgia Tech beats Boston College 37-17. Two of the worst teams in the ACC this year for the most part. Boston College is now 1-6, 0-4 in the ACC. It's so crazy to think just a few years ago Boston College was ranked number 2 with Matt Ryan at quarterback. That's crazy to think about how far they've slid since then. So it's really crazy, but it happens when you're not in a great recruiting area, because Massachusetts isn't what you'd really call a blue chip state by any means. And they've had terrible quarterback play ever since Matt Ryan. They've had Chase Reddick for the last 20 years. I don't even know if he's still the quarterback, but they just had a long line of terrible quarterbacks, and they had one spark of offense over the last few years I can remember, and that was Montel Harris, and I think he's playing for Temple now. So that shows you they've had good defenses in the past, but if Luke Kuechly, if he would have came back for this year, I think they'd have been a lot better, because that guy's an absolute beast. But he left. That was a great linebacking duo with him and Mark Herzlich, but they're both gone. Nothing you can do about that. And yeah, South Alabama, local college gets the win 37-34, their first BCS win or FBS win, whatever you want to call it. They're 2-5, but they beat Lamar. Might be wrong. Somebody like Lamar. And or Nicholls State, I think, and they win 37-34 in overtime. So congrats to South Alabama. Florida absolutely beats down South Carolina 44-11. Jeff Driscoll had a big game. He's definitely proved me wrong. I thought Jacoby Brissett should have been the quarterback going into the season, and after that first game, I still thought he should have been. And he's definitely proved me wrong. You should not make any changes when your team's number 2 in the country, after going 6-6 or 7-6, whatever it was last year. And I don't know what happened to South Carolina. I just think they were overrated from the start. I think that win against Georgia was just really a fluke game, because I mean they struggled with Vanderbilt, they struggled with Kentucky, and they come out at home. I think it's just they're a much different team on the road than they are at home. And definitely proved me right here. Florida actually beats them 44-11 by 33 points. Nebraska edges out Northwestern 29-28. Last second field goal. Northwestern missed that would have gave them the win. But I wanted Northwestern to win this game, but Taylor Martinez had a decent game, and Nebraska had to rally in the fourth quarter to win this game, and they scored 13 points and came back and won by a point. So you win however you can take it, and you roll with it. Notre Dame beats BYU 17-14. I told you guys, well, I think in my written predictions, and I think I talked about this too, I predicted Notre Dame to win this game 21-20. I thought it was going to be very close. BYU has a great defense. I still think top 10 defense in the country. They've had a really tough schedule, and they came on the wrong end of a bunch of ball games BYU has. But Notre Dame, they're finding ways to win. That's all that matters. Keep doing what they're doing. Had to rally late, had to score 10 points in the second half and hold BYU scoreless, and they win 17-14. So take it how you can get any win. They're number 5 in the country. They'll probably stay 5, probably. I'm not sure if you'll see any mix up. You might see Kansas State move up or something like that, but yeah, Notre Dame wins. Louisville remains undefeated and holds off South Florida to win 27-25. Teddy Bridgewater had a big game, and yeah, Louisville still undefeated. Like I said about 20 times in my videos, I think Louisville and Rutgers both go undefeated to the last week of the season, and that might be a big implication on what team goes to the BCS National Championship game. I mean, you might think I'm crazy for saying that, but if the right cards fall, you could see that happen. North Carolina State beats Maryland 20-18. Maryland missed a late field goal that would have gave them the win, but North Carolina State improves to 2-1 in ACC play. That'll put Maryland at 3-0 in the ACC. That shows you how down the ACC is, because Maryland still don't think a good team at all, but it is what it is. Michigan on a last field goal beats Michigan State 12-10. Wow, I didn't know this. This is the first college football team to 900 wins. So congratulations to Michigan. They're now 3-0 in the Big Ten. Michigan State falls to 1-3. It's the first time beating Michigan State in years. So congrats to Michigan. Navy beats Indiana 31-30. Big win for Navy in triple overtime. Texas Tech beats TCU 56-53. Seth Doege, or Dagey, however you say that last name, threw 7 touchdowns for Texas Tech to win 56-53. Late touchdown got them the victory over TCU. TCU playing tough in the Big 12. I mean, they're playing without their starting quarterback. You don't know how different things would be with him, but you can't live in the past. And their backup quarterback's been doing all right. He's not been making too many mistakes. He's been making plays, but he's only a redshirt freshman. So Texas Tech finds a way to win. Their only loss so far in the year is against Oklahoma. And heck, I mean, if you see Kansas State end up losing 2 games, I think Texas Tech check real fast. I think Texas Tech and Kansas State play. They play next week. You can see Texas Tech pull an upset, and you can see Oklahoma lose another game in the Big 12. You might see Texas Tech win in the Big 12. They're a really good team. Don't take Texas Tech for granted, because they can upset you any day of the week. USC beats Colorado 50-6. Matt Barkley threw 6 touchdowns, and he was like 19-21. Had a huge game. Him and Robert Woods both set records. I think it was first to 100 touchdowns. I think, might be wrong, but they beat Colorado 50-6. Colorado is absolutely terrible. They're sad, and for them to be a BCS school, they need some changes in Boulder, Colorado, because that's pitiful. That's embarrassing to their university. Hold on. Georgia beats Kentucky 29-24. Hold on. To avoid the upset, Kentucky had a late penalty that screwed them up, and Georgia holds on to win 29-24. Really struggled with Kentucky in this game, but like I say, you take a win and you roll with it. However you win, you win. Duke upsets North Carolina and wins 33-30. They are now 3-1 ACC play and now bowl eligible for the first time since 1994. If Duke would have won last week against Virginia Tech, as I thought they were winning 20-0. They'd be 4-0 in the ACC right now. So that'd be crazy if you see Duke go to the ACC championship game, even though it probably won't happen. That would still be a cool thing to experience. So they win 33-30. Oklahoma absolutely annihilates Kansas, which was expected, 52-7. I need to hurry up here. I gotta go. Kansas State absolutely explodes on West Virginia to win 55-14. Geno Smith threw his first 2 interceptions of the year this game. It's West Virginia's been exposed. That defense is not going to get them anywhere. My previous assumption of their offense being able to outscore everybody, I was totally wrong. I take full credit for that. You shouldn't be giving up 50 points a game. If you're giving up 50 points a game, you should be scoring 51 points a game. And ever since they started Big 12 play, that's definitely not been the case. They're just, I don't know. They got to find a different approach. But Kansas State, and definitely after this game, Colin Klein is the clear Heisman leader right now. Alabama beats Tennessee 44-13. A.J. McCarron had a huge game, 4 touchdown passes, 306 yards, 19-22. T.J. Yeldon had 140 yards on the ground. Mari Cooper had 160 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Had a big game. Predicted him in the beginning of the season or before the season that he was going to lead the team in receiving yards this year, and he's definitely doing that. So, yeah, proud of that prediction. Toledo upset Cincinnati, gives them their first loss of the season. They are now 29. They lost 29-23. They'll be out of the top 25 definitely after this game. It was going to be an undefeated game between them and Louisville next Friday, but that's all for naught now. Toledo's a pretty decent team. They're 7-1, 4-0 in the MAC, so possible ranked team maybe in the next few weeks. I gotta really hurry up. Baylor beats Texas. Texas beats Baylor 56-50. Texas outscored Baylor. I gotta hurry up. Penn State shocks Iowa, beats them 38-14. Didn't think it was be this big of a blowout, but it is what it is. Florida State beats Miami 33-20. Miami played them tough, but in the end, Florida State wins. Oregon State remains undefeated to win 21-7 over Utah. Arizona blows out Washington 52-17, and that's it. So I'll see you guys later. That's been my week 8 recap video. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, roll tide, go Sox, and go Tigers to you. I'll see you guys later.